Okay, so let's talk about a huge, and I mean huge, shift that's happening in AI right now. It's this incredible migration of artificial intelligence from these far-off, distant cloud servers right into the one device you never leave home without, your phone. And this isn't some far-off sci-fi prediction. Nope, this is a revolution that's happening in your pocket, like as we speak.
To really get a handle on this, think about it like this. For years, we've dealt with AI like it's a professor in a library. It's super smart, knows just about everything, but it's kind of slow, it's far away, and you're basically sharing it with the entire world. Well, the new way, think of it as a smart intern in your backpack. It's right there with you. It's instant, it's totally private, and it gets what you need right when you need it.
So why the big change? Well, it turns out that brilliant professor in the library, he's got a couple of pretty big problems. And it all starts with the simple problem of distance.
You know that exact feeling, right? You ask your phone something simple, like set a timer for 10 minutes, and you get that pause, that little spinning wheel of doom. That's not your phone being dumb. That's actually the sound of your question traveling hundreds or even thousands of miles.
Yeah, behind that little pause is this whole invisible journey. Your voice gets turned into data, zapped across the country to a giant warehouse full of computers. A massive AI brain thinks about it, and then the answer has to make that entire trip all the way back to you. Every single one of those steps adds a little bit of delay, what the tech folks call latency. And here's the bottom line. That round trip is just too slow for the next generation of AI. We're talking about apps that need to feel instantaneous, like they're a part of your own mind. The old cloud model is starting to become a real bottleneck. But you know what? Speed isn't even the biggest issue.
That brings us to the second, and maybe even scarier, problem. Privacy. I mean, think about it. Every time you send a request to the cloud, you're sending your data to some company's server. Your private messages, your weird health questions, your personal photos. The professor might be smart, but do you really want him reading your diary?
Okay, so we have a speed problem and a pretty serious privacy problem. The solution? Well, it's actually pretty elegant. Let's just bring the intelligence home. It's time to put that AI right there in your backpack.
So, say hello to the hero of our story, the small language model, or SLM. This is our smart intern. It's an AI that's incredibly powerful, but it's also compact enough to live full-time, right on your phone. No internet connection needed. No sending your private data out into the world. Let's just put them side by side. The professor, the old way, lives in the cloud. The intern lives right on your phone. The professor is slow because of latency. The intern is instant because it's right there. With the professor, your privacy is kind of shared with the company. With the intern, it is 100% yours and yours alone. And here's the kicker. The professor is useless without the internet, while your smart intern works perfectly fine on an airplane or in the subway.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. How on earth do you fit a brain that can write code and poetry onto a tiny little computer chip inside a phone? It just sounds impossible, right? Well, it's not. Let's just go back to our metaphor. How would you shrink that entire massive library of knowledge into something you can fit in a backpack? Well, you wouldn't try to cram every single book in there. You'd just take the most important information, right? The technical secret sauce here is a really clever process called quantization. You can basically think of it like data compression, but for an AI's brain. It smartly makes the AI model way smaller by focusing only on the most critical information, without it losing its core intelligence. It's a lot like turning a massive high-resolution photo into a much smaller JPEG file that still looks great.
You know what? Here's the best way to think about it. Quantization basically takes that giant 20-volume encyclopedia, that's our big, clunky cloud AI, and it turns it into this super efficient, pocket-sized cheat sheet. It's still got all the key facts, all the important concepts, but it's lean, it's fast, and it fits right in the palm of your hand.
So this isn't just some theory or a cool lab experiment. The big problems of speed and privacy are being solved right now, and the tech to shrink that AI brain is officially here. So what does this actually mean for you, like today?
This isn't science fiction. It's literally already shipping. When you hear companies like Apple talking about Apple Intelligence or Google talking about Gemini Nano, this is exactly what they're talking about. They are building these smart interns directly into the DNA of their operating systems. The revolution has already started.
And honestly, this is just the first step. We're moving away from a world where we have to ask our devices for everything to a world where our devices, with their local, totally private understanding of our lives, will actually start to anticipate what we need. It'll know you need directions to your next appointment before you even think to ask for them.
And just look at this. The difference in size is absolutely staggering. The old cloud models from just last year are these massive giants compared to the new, compact, on-device models of today. On the left, you've got the entire library. On the right, you've got the backpack. The scale of this change is just wild.
Now let this one sink in for a minute. The experts are predicting that in just a couple of years, by 2027, the phone in your pocket is going to be smarter and faster than a high-end, top-of-the-line cloud server was from just last year. That's not just an improvement, that is a mind-bending leap forward.
So all of this is bringing us to the edge of a brand new era. Our most personal device, the thing that holds our pictures, our conversations, our memories, is on the verge of becoming our smartest, and most importantly, our most private partner. The real question isn't if this is going to change everything, it's what are we going to build with it.